Nazi Germany's Gestapo, 1933 to 1945. Hermann Göring created the Gestapo in 1933 by purging Prussia's police force. Heinrich Himmler took control in 1934, with Reinhard Heydrich as deputy. Rudolf Diels was removed for not being ruthless enough. By 1936, they operated above all laws. Heinrich Müller ran daily operations from Berlin headquarters on Prinz Albrechtstrasse. 1 in 40 Germans became informants. They had protective custody powers, indefinite imprisonment without trial. Adolf Eichmann organized deportations to death camps. Otto Ohlendorf commanded Einsatzgruppen killing squads. The 1941 Night and Fog Decree, signed by Wilhelm Keitel, allowed them to make dissidents vanish. Arthur Naber merged them with Kriminalpolizei. After Nuremberg, many leaders were executed. East Germany's Stasi, 1950 to 1990. Wilhelm Seisser founded the Stasi in 1950. Ernst Wollweber expanded it from 1953 to 1957. Erich Mielke ran operations for 32 years, creating the most oppressive surveillance state ever. Marcus Wolf commanded Foreign Intelligence HVA, recruiting West German spies. They kept files on 6 million people, 1 in 3 citizens. Over 500,000 informants called Imes border guard Egon Schultz enforced shoot-to-kill orders at the Berlin Wall. Chris Geffroy, age 20, was the last person killed there on February 6, 1989. Rolf Pohler planned Zersetzung psychological warfare operations. Siegfried Ratajczyk ran Hohenschönhausen prison. Hans Carlsson commanded the 11,000-strong Felix Dzerzhinsky Guards Regiment with tanks and armored vehicles. Soviet Union's NKVD, 1934 to 1946. Genrich Jagoda ran the NKVD from 1934 to 1936, expanding it to 250,000 employees. Nikolai Yezhov, the Bloody Dwarf, orchestrated the Great Purge from 1936 to 1938, signing 383 execution lists personally. Lavrenti Beria took control in 1938 until 1945, becoming Stalin's most trusted executioner. They executed 700,000 to 1.2 million people in 2 years. Matvey Berman and Vasily Chernyshev administered gulags where 1.7 million died. Andrei Vyshinsky prosecuted the Moscow show trials. Nikolai Bukharin, Grigory Zinoviev, and Lev Kamenev confessed under torture before execution. Ivan Serov and Boris Berman led ethnic purges. Vasily Blokhin personally executed 7,000 Poles in 28 days during the Katyn massacre. Soviet Russia's Cheka, 1917 to 1922. Felix Dzerzhinsky founded the Cheka on December 20, 1917, becoming the first Soviet secret police chief. Vyacheslav Menjinsky and Genrich Jagoda served as his deputies. Jan Peters commanded executions during the Red Terror. Mikhail Kedrov ran special departments conducting mass arrests without trial. Martin Latsis coordinated provincial Cheka operations across Russia. They killed between 50,000 and 200,000 people by 1921. Gleb Boki headed the special department, targeting clergy and bourgeoisie. Jakub Peters organized the suppression of the Kronstadt rebellion. They invented torture methods including skinning, burning, and crucifixion. The Cheka ran the first Gulag camps, betrayed anarchist allies like Nestor Makhno, and crushed worker uprisings brutally. Imperial Japan's Kempeitai, 1881 to 1945. Hideki Tojo served as Kempeitai chief in Manchuria before becoming prime minister. Kenji Doihara, the Lawrence of Manchuria, used them for assassinations in China. Seishiro Itagaki commanded 70,000 personnel by World War II. Masanobu Tsuji ran propaganda operations. Ryuji Kajitsuka commanded Singapore operations. Sumida Haruzo led the East District Torture Facility in Singapore. They arrested 50,000 people by 1936. Shiro Ishii established Unit 731 for biological warfare experiments, conducting vivisection without anesthesia on live prisoners. Surgeons Hisato Yoshimura and Yoshio Shinozuka performed freeze experiments. They tested plague, anthrax, and cholera on humans. After the war, many escaped prosecution by sharing research with Americans. Haiti's Tonton Macoutes, 1959 to 1986. François Papadoc Duvalier created the Tonton Macoutes in 1959 as his personal death squad. His son, Jean-Claude Baby Doc, continued operations until 1986. Luckner Cambronne commanded them, nicknamed Vampire of the Caribbean. Madame Max Adolphe ran Fort Dimanche prison, where thousands died. Zachary Delva led raids in Port-au-Prince. Roger Lafontaine orchestrated assassinations of opposition leaders. They killed tens of thousands, exact numbers unknown. Emmanuel Toto Constant formed FRAP, continuing Macoute tactics in the 1990s. They collected extortion money, raped women, kidnapped children. In 1985, they gunned down 27 people during a national holiday celebration. Baby Doc fled with $900 million, 80% of Haiti's international aid. Romania's Securitate, 1948 to 1989. Alexandru Draghici founded Romania's Securitate in 1948 with Soviet support. Nicolae Ceausescu expanded it massively after 1965. Iulian Vlad served as the last chief before the 1989 revolution. They employed 15,000 agents and 500,000 informants, one for every 40 Romanians. Constantin Olteanu commanded Department 4, handling surveillance operations. Gheorghe Crăciun ran interrogation centers. They crushed dissent through psychological warfare, spreading false rumors and framing dissidents. Union leaders from the Jew Valley miners' strike were deliberately exposed to repeated chest X-rays to induce cancer. They monitored hospitals, enforced pregnancy tests, and punished women who had abortions. They assassinated defector Ion Mihai Pacepa abroad. Many operatives were absorbed into new structures after 1989. Chile's DINA, 1973 to 1977. Manuel Contreras founded and commanded Chile's DINA under dictator Augusto Pinochet after the September 11, 1973 coup. He became the regime's second most powerful man. Raúl Iturriaga headed foreign operations. Pedro Espinosa coordinated assassinations abroad. Marcelo Moren Brito ran Villa Grimaldi Detention Center, where thousands were tortured. Miguel Krasnov Marchenko conducted kidnappings and executions. They assassinated Orlando Letelier in Washington, D.C. with a car bomb on September 21, 1976. Osvaldo Romo, nicknamed El Guaton, was a notorious torturer. They ran Operation Condor with Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, Paraguay, and Bolivia to eliminate leftists across South America. Tens of thousands suffered torture, sexual assault, or execution. In 1977, DINA was rebranded as CNI, China's Ministry of State Security, 1983 to present. Ling Yun became the first MSS minister in 1983. Jia Chunwang expanded operations from 1998 to 2007. Geng Huichang led from 2007 to 2016. Chen Wenqing took control in 2016. The MSS employs around 100,000 agents enforcing Communist Party control globally. They run re-education camps in Xinjiang, where over 1 million Uyghurs have been detained since 2017. Chen Quanguo implemented the Xinjiang surveillance program. They monitor WeChat conversations, track citizens with facial recognition, and maintain files on CCP members. They dismantled the CIA's China network, executing 30 American informants. Operation Foxhunt, led by Meng Qingfeng, abducts dissidents abroad. They operate police stations in foreign countries. MSS agents conduct industrial espionage against Western companies. North Korea's Ministry of State Security. 1973 to present. Kim Jong-il established North Korea's secret police in 1973, reporting directly to the supreme leader. Kim Jong-un currently commands them. The agency employs 100,000 officers. They arrest, torture, execute, or send people to concentration camps without trial. Collective punishment extends 3 generations for political crimes. Families disappear together. Camp 15 in Yodok, Camp 16 in Hwasong, and Camp 14 in Kechon hold 200,000 prisoners. They force detainees to sit motionless for days without sleep. Citizens must inform on each other. Refusal means punishment. From childhood, North Koreans learn never to whisper at home. Informants are everywhere. Agents disguise themselves as ordinary citizens. Defector Shin Dong-hyuk survived Camp 14, revealing systematic torture and executions inside.